you met your late husband, Bud, and where did you and Bud meet?
Bud was head coach at Georgia Tech, and I was anchoring the news and reporting at Channel 11 in Atlanta. And it was a Friday, a Jewish holiday, and the sports director didn't come to work that day, so they said, oh, Carson's really mean. Oh, he's tough. Who's going to go interview him? And I said, me. When I got there, I said, we did the interview, and I said, I knew nothing about sports. And afterwards I said, you know, I heard you were divorced. So am I. And I have this book that helped me so much through my divorce. Maybe it'll help you. And I would like to have it back. It's got my phone number, so if you'll just call me when you're through with it.
Oh, smooth.
That's how I met my husband.
And from there, you became a blended family.
Yes, he had 2 kids, I had 1, and then we had 1 together, so we did. And of course, football coaches are gone a lot, so it was usually just me and the kids. So we had a great time, and I'm still so close to my stepkids and my own kids too.
That's wonderful. Your daughter, Kathy, lives right next door.
She does.
How wonderful is that?
Oh, she used to work at ABC 7 as a reporter. She's an attorney. So she thought television looked a lot more fun than law. But then she found that law paid a lot better, so she went back to law.
A lot of things pay better
yes,
than
but nothing's
TV.
More fun.
It is great fun. That's for sure. But with that, Bud moved. And you and the kids moved with Bud from Pittsburgh, yes?
Yes, we went. He promised me when we got engaged that he would stay at Georgia Tech forever because Atlanta's my home.
Sure.
I live next door to my parents. He was fired within 6 months and thought that was the end. That was the end of his career. Then he went to the Steelers, and they were in 3 Super Bowls, and then he went to the Rams in Los Angeles. They were in a Super Bowl against the Steelers, and then they didn't go to the Super Bowl the next year, so all the coaches got fired. But we went from there to Baltimore, Kansas City, New York, Cleveland, Philadelphia. So I came to Sarasota from Philadelphia. I had worked at 12 stations by the time I came here.
As Bud moved from team to team, you moved from station to station.
Yes. Plus
packing up and moving the kids with you as well. How did you balance being supportive of Bud, very, high-profile job, you working in TV, which is a high-profile job, having the kids? How did you juggle all of that and all the moves?
The moves were hard because I always had to find a job. A couple of times I stayed back with the kids until I found a job. But I usually felt that in a month I could put the house on the market, buy another house, find the best schools for the kids, and move. But I had to find a job. So I ended up working in every one of the markets. I didn't have a blank space where I wasn't working. I thought I might here. We came here because Bud retired. He hit 65 and he retired from the Philadelphia Eagles. So we moved to Sarasota. He said in an interview on television, you can only fish so long. So he went back to coaching for St. Louis, the St. Louis Rams, and they went to a Super Bowl. But fortunately for me, we kept our home here.
Kept home here. But that was a lot of work. I mean, looking back, do you ever say to yourself, how on earth did I do that all? Or was it just came naturally to be able to do all of that?
I'm so close to the people because there were so many coaches. There were like 13 coaches that usually moved together, often moved together. I'm so close to their wives still. And close to the kids. That's one reason, because it was us against the world.
Right.
We were holding hands and figuring it out. So it really brought the family closer together, I think. I was always worried about getting a job. Even now, after I've had this one job for 27 years, I still say to people when I meet them on the street, how'd you get your job? I'm always looking for that in case I have to have it again.
So this new contract you've got, does that give you a little comfort and security to know that you're good to go for at least another year?
Yes, it does. I mean, how many 84-year-olds get a new contract? So I feel very comforted for that because I really do enjoy what I'm doing.
And you've done a lot at ABC 7. I mean, you were you were a reporter, you were anchoring, and now doing Suncoast View for how many years?
Almost 8. We're coming up on our 8th anniversary in a couple of
years?
months.
Wow.
And when I came there, I was anchoring weekends
Yep.
and reporting 3 days a week. And then I was anchoring mornings and going out and reporting and doing a part of the 6 o'clock news every night. I did Amazing Suncoast Women. Suncoast Scene, I think I did that for 15 years. So, you know, in any career, I think it changes. What you're doing changes. So I look at it as like a basketball player who's like poised, you know, balanced like this. You've got to be balanced and ready to move fast.
You know, and when we were working together at Suncoast View, one of the things that, well, many things I admired about you and continue to admire about you.
Oh, thank you.
But is your flexibility and your just rolling with the punches, that no matter what happens, you're prepared and you're ready.
Oh, that comes with old age and practice. Because there's one thing I have learned. I used to go in when I was anchoring the mornings. I would go in and read through the whole news show on camera before we went on the air, so I knew what was coming, and there wouldn't be any surprises. A lot of anchors just walk on the air 1 minute before they're going to read, and they're happy that way. For me, practice. That's what I always count on, and it's always worked for me.
And plan what I like to call Plan B or Plan C, because folks at home might not notice, but Linda always walks in, and you'll see on the table in front of her pieces of paper, and that's your script. And why do you have those pieces of paper in front of you?
Well, you know, a lot of Suncoast View we're just talking, but the segments when we're introducing people, they're all scripted to video, and people, there may be 5, 6, 7, 8 people that are going by that script. So if I get off script, it's throwing a lot of people off. Well, teleprompters have been known to go backwards or stop or go black.
Technology.
Oh my goodness. So I have the security. It's money in the bank. I have the security of having my scripts in my hand, and if everything else fails, I'll just look down and read.
Some people call you the Betty White of Sarasota. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I wish. She was always so upbeat and funny.
Did you ever meet her?
No. I would have loved to have met her.
Because you were in LA for a while.
Yes, we were in LA. I worked out there for 5 years at KTTV, which was so funny because, let's see, that was in the 70s and 80s, mid-80s. And on the Disney cruise, that station was on the Disney cruise, and one of the cameramen said to my daughter, "Didn't she used to work at KTTV?" So all those years, he probably was 10 at the time, but he remembered.
But remembered you at
Yes.
being Channel 11, right?
Channel
at KTTV.
11, yes.
What advice do you have for people who are thinking about moving to Sarasota to retire, or maybe who've just moved to Sarasota and have retired?
Don't just think about the beaches. You know, look into all the other things to do. I swore when I moved here I would walk on the beach every day. That's all I needed. But then you need other things to do, and there are other things to do. When you move here, you're thinking like a tourist, boating and fishing and being on the beach. But there's so many other things. So you can get deeply involved in the community, because I think we all need community. We all need to feel like we belong. I think one of the best things in Sarasota, I was down by City Hall one day, and the mayor was walking by and said, "Oh, hey, Linda," and started to talk about something. And then one of the judges saw us talking and came over and started to talk. And then this homeless guy came over, and he was giving his opinion. So here we are, these very different people all having a conversation, but you know them. You're not just thinking of the judge as this person up on a bench. You know him. So it's the kind of place where you can get deeply involved. Well, you have. You moved here, what, 3 years ago?
And yeah, a little over 2.5 years
You
ago.
have gotten deeply involved in the community, and that's so satisfying.
It is satisfying, Linda, because if you call a place a home, at least for me, I want to be part of the community. I want to be engaged. and giving back to the community.
Yes.
And that's something you certainly do as well, because you make a lot of public appearances and you support a lot of local organizations that are outside the four walls of ABC 7 Studio. Tell me about some of those experiences you've had of, well, for instance, the circus.
Oh, yes, I was on the board of directors for the Circus Arts Conservatory because they're such a great part of our history. When John Ringling moved the circus winter quarters here back in the 20s, you know, they had money. They were still doing shows. And when they went through, when everybody went through the Depression, because we had those circus people here, it was really helpful to our economy. And they raised their families here. And some of the greatest performers in the world live right here in Sarasota. So I had gotten deeply involved in them. I'm so proud of them. They are doing such great work.
An amazing organization. It
Yes.
really, and it is such a deep and proud part of Sarasota's history. And I also want to thank you for riding with me in Project Pride SRQ's annual car parade. And I think we've got a couple of pictures and maybe a little clip of video. Let's take a little clip of the video and we'll be right back. Oh, we're going to have a great time in this parade.
This is such a thrill. I hear laughter up ahead.
Here we go.
People are having fun. Oh my goodness, this is exciting. Hello there! Hi everybody!
And just the part where you and I are taking off, because I had actually that camera on.
Okay.
And so we'll come back out of that. And
you know, the funniest thing about my daughter, somehow somebody gave her a pin, so she pinned it on her purse, and we were buying some things in the white market, black and white at UTC Mall, and she laid her purse on the counter, and the girl said, well, like your pen, I'm going to give you my 30% discount. Wasn't that nice?
wow. And you have been an ally, a strong ally of the LGBTQ community.
Well, I've got a gay son, stepson. So Cliff came out to me first of all, so I've always had an obligation to him to sort of be his offensive line.
Absolutely.
Sometimes he doesn't take my advice and stand behind me. I told you that guy wasn't for you.
But that's what a mom does.
Yes.
And she stands by and stands behind her kids no matter what. And again, you've been such a wonderful ally, and you know.
Well, things
Project
have gotten
Pride,
much better. Still, I'm afraid so much is on the surface. Like so many movements, it's the in thing right now to cheer on the gay community, but I'm not sure I would go around these people at night in the dark. Which I tell Cliff, just watch your back.
Watch your back, absolutely. Linda Carson, Linda Faye Carson. Would you come back for another interview, another conversation someday?
Of course I would.
Because we haven't even begun. I only have a couple cards here, and I've got a stack of cards back here of questions and things for us to talk about. Thank you so much. I'm from the bottom of my heart, I'm grateful to you for your support and for being here. And I just want to say thank you for watching Suncoast people, and I'm Robert Tim. And if you have any ideas or suggestions of people who would be a good interview, someone who has a story to tell, someone who maybe has climbed that second mountain of their career, just like the title of David Brooks's book that I highly recommend, write us. The email's right here on the screen, and we'd love to hear from you. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.